stream we've just done. He's just fucking constant.
Right, evening, gents. Hope you're all well. Back with more midweek All-Stars action. Feels like we've had a bit of a champ fest this week with a cheeky Monday stream and then Super League playoffs last night and a bit of late limbs earlier on. But here we are with game week 19. Delighted to say I'm joined by Unicorn's boss Smuts. Evening, mate. How are you?
Well, mate. Well, thank you for having me. I've just done 2.5 hours on late limbs, so I thought, well, I'm home alone, no kids in the house. What else is there to do except fucking stream? But before we start, I wanted to do a little bit of this ASMR noise. That one's for Macca. That one is, mate. Enjoy.
Lovely stuff. Great stuff. Right. Quick look at the table. Vanuatu 6 points clear at the top. Duggan's with us, as is Dan. Evening, gents. As Duggan joins us, just touch on the Dragons in a great run of form at the moment. Couple of wins, well, 10 points from the last 4. Vanuatu 3 with the same, and Time Wasters are also 5 unbeaten. So yeah, it's incredibly tight. A few teams putting a few results together, but still competitive as ever.
We were just saying beforehand that the Dragons, from where they started the league, if you click on the second place, that is a big uptick in form. And then if you do the same for the Vikings,
yeah,
very mirrored,
a rich vein of form,
in very good form. Whereas if you do the same for me and you,
yeah, I think you would say that probably the transfer window had something to do with that, because if we look on game week 8 here, you know, both had, but yeah, on the flip side of that, Warriors, I mean, been in and around the playoffs for most of the season, but have dipped off bottom of the form table. And yourself, you started incredibly well, but that spike's on a pretty downward slope. Right, quick look at the fixtures and see where we start. Anything that you take the fancy of? We'll leave Steve a little bit just for clarity and transparency to everybody. Steve's not submitted. I've given him a nudge, but he's on his way home, so I've told him I'll do it live before anybody thinks it's some kind of conspiracy.
Well, there's nothing really that massively stands out there. Maybe
who's Duggan playing? Duggan's playing Steve. So
Duggan's playing Steve.
A little bit. Why don't we kick off with you and Daz? Since you're both here.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Daz here?
Daz here, yeah. So we will go across.
Yeah, there we go.
Dazzler.
Yeah, that's good call.
And little change up again. Keeps going sort of between this defensive 5 and then pushing Ambrosini forward. I think that might have been impacted by Bischan's injury. Janowski comes in, Ambrosini drops back, Robin, and out of league signing. Guare debuts up front, I believe it is. He made an appearance from the bench last time out. And let you talk us through a few changes that you've made to try and
stop the rot. Yeah, I've got a Hoopier back, which is a big bonus. Can you drag into captain as well, please?
So, who? Sorry,
Hoopier. It's captain. Yeah. Poway's had a bad run of form after doing so well at the start of the season. So I'm giving Stan Petrov a little bit of a run out, see how he goes on. And again, George Atos has been fucking dreadful the last couple of games.
Yeah, so big call to leave out one of the more favourable left-hand side players, but Casterman gets his chance.
Yeah, exactly. So give Casterman a bit of a chance, bit of a run out. If it doesn't work, he's on the bench, ready to sort of pounce and come back in if needs be.
Good stuff. Well, let's see if the Aborigines' decent upturn in form continues. See if the Unicorns front 3 can fire.
Yeah, they certainly started off the season in fucking good form, but they're tailed off It's
Yeah, I
very
think
much.
they've still got an awful lot of contributions between them as a three. I don't think you're doing too badly from them three. But we're halfway through the first half, and it is David Beckham who has opened the scoring on 24 minutes. So it came out of nothing, that one. Off,
a Macca favourite as well,
yeah,
just as I took a sip of a pint. Lovely.
Just disregard the air fryer beeping in the background.
I was going to say, yeah, you got the fire alarm going off there.
And
I still remember on one of my streams where the missus wandered into the room and put the Tommy Tippy. That's the one as well. Put the Tommy Tippy machine on, and fucking just from the sound of it, Horse managed to identify the exact make and model of the fucking.
Jesus Christ. Right, half time, you take a 2-0 lead in, but in terms of the stats, it's pretty even. So must be delighted to go in 2-0 up. Beckham and Pat Soglu with the goals. No assists for anybody there, but a pretty solid performance. Nobody less than a 7.
Yeah, I mean, the only sort of downside, if you like, is that those front three are still not done anything really. I mean, I'll take it. Look, I'm not fucking complaining about a 2-0 lead at half time, 8s and 9s all over the gaff. But yeah, it's a little worry they're still not doing it. You know?
Yeah, and across for Daz, food for thought, lots of 5s, 6s, 7s in there. Javier Zanetti, the standout, doing okay, but apart from that, just not clicking. Just wait and see if Daz wants to do anything. Potentially a keeper swap, but I don't know. I'm not sure I would. But yeah, he's got some good players.
I'm a big proponent of dragging the keeper off. If one is 5 at half time, that's it. He's done.
We're going to see Santa Cruz come on for Tomadera. Just wait for Daz to confirm that's all.
One of my favourites as well, Santa Cruz.
I assume you're just going as is.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Give Daz a few seconds. I assume that's all. Just wanted to make sure he's not pondering anything else.
Yeah, especially with me on stream, it's one of those you go over cautious, don't you?
Yeah.
When it's against you as well as a streamer, I do exactly the same.
Yeah, and that's it. So we will get to 60 minutes then. Cashman, I think it was into the book earlier the second half, and it is Santa Cruz on the bench. We've called him back early doors.
Et tu, Brute.
And it felt like it's been all Aborigines since the break. Santa Cruz have another great chance there. As we get to 60 at 2-1, Steve's joined us. Just the one attempt from Aborigines, that's Santa Cruz goal. Nothing from Unicorns since the break. Start with Baz. Santa Cruz, off the bench with a goal. Assist from Robin. I think that's 2-2 for Robin since he's come in. Doing a decent job. Defensive play is not doing especially well. But yeah, something to think about for Daz. And then across at your boys, Mackay's dropped down to a 6, but you've got 7s and 8s everywhere else. Yeah,
I'm certainly going to have to do something. Just not entirely sure I know what. It's not really obvious. Maybe Mackay off and Couture up top with Trezeguet. Just the balance isn't right there.
Dimble and Steve in the chat. Good evening, chaps. Just wait on Daz.
I'm considering maybe Cashman for George Artos, just because he's on that yellow. What's the conditions like? Sorry, I missed them, and there was something.
No issues with condition.
They're all fine. Yeah, I'll do Cashman for George Atos. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, in fact, no. Can we swap Mackay and Brugging? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I swapped them at the start of the game. See if that does out.
We'll just see what Dazzler's going to do. I think we might see Agahawa potentially one of them DMCs off and move another player forward or something like that.
Yeah, maybe move Ambrosini forward a bit.
That's
exactly that makes sense.
No, our wide players are us. We're not going to see any changes, just a little bit more attacking intent. So we'll run this one on to full time. Oh,
unicorn. Yeah, while he's got the impetus, that probably makes a lot of sense. Fucking hell.
And it is still Aborigines coming forward. Santa Cruz with another chance had a real impact since he come on since half time.
It does worry me. It's better seeing Brugink and Mackay's name at last. Unfortunately, that's it with a yellow card.
And we have got full time. Aborigines
just
couldn't kick on since 60 minutes, and you've held on for a 2-1 win. Probably against the balance of play, to be honest. A draw.
Yeah, that's not deserved. That's not deserved at all. That's unlucky. That's
harsh from the Aborigines, but punished for a sloppy first half an hour.
Gray managing to get himself up to a 7. So my shout for taking him off is come back to haunt me.
Yeah. Santa Cruz did well from the bench. He's been in and out. He's played up front. He's played at AMC, but he's done a decent job. Robin continued to do okay. And over at the Unicorns, Pat's make a bit more noise. Jesus Christ. Pat Satsoglu picks up man of the match. Upia on a 9. Scally with a 9. Some decent performances in there. But you take it on, I guess.
Yeah, very much so. Look, the form I'm in, I'll grab that with both hands.
I don't know what's about, but Rob, are you here? I'll just leave that a little bit. Dimble is about, and he's playing Hodgie, so that's one we can.
They're both here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hang on, let me just swap these two over and notice that. A bit of a change for Dimble in personnel. Vogel in centre midfield. Zambrotta goes out wide left. Mendieta out wide right. Kuhl supports Anelka. Some big players not involved. He's got a really strong squad. Kaluzny doesn't make the bench. Del Piero, Rivaldo. Some strong players there.
Yeah, very good squad. I'm surprised to see Tonetto in there. Has he been doing well?
Tonetto shouldn't be in there. Let me just check. Actually, it might be. You've got me second guessing myself here. I think it's right. I only just set it up before I stream, so yeah. Tonetto's still in there. He's averaging 8.1, so that would justify.
Yeah, shows what I fucking know.
And
it's
across,
not a player I'd have played.
Hodgie in and around the playoff mix again. Morientes has been exceptional. 11 goals in a front 2 is incredible.
Very much improved from last season.
Very much as you would expect from Townsville. So we will kick this one off. Townsville versus Blitz. No real action inside the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, fairly quiet.
And it is that man Morientes again on 25 minutes who's put Townsville in front. I was just about to say sort of two good sides in decent enough form, both playing a solid 3DMC formation, can't sleep each other out. And as I say, that Morientes has opened the scoring.
Yeah, you'd say on paper, Blitz have got stronger players, but
yeah. You would say so, but on paper, in this first 45 minutes, it's been all Townsville, and they have restricted Blitz to literally nothing. Assist comes from Kili Gonzalez from the left. Morientes, the standout again. Yepes at the back doing a decent job. Hodgie will be delighted. Jens is here, and he wants to go next. No problem, mate. I'll get you on next. Nicky Butt into the book. Okaronko doing okay on an 8, but apart from that, not a great deal for Dimble to shout about.
Yeah, uncharacteristic, quiet game from Anelka and Elias. there.
Yeah, the Elias is
I mean,
good.
I don't know if you're doing anything here. I wouldn't be too worried if I was Dimble. He's got the players there, trust the process, etc.
So I've not seen anything from Dimble just yet. It's going to roll
It's a
it through.
draw,
There we
yeah.
go. So we will get through to 60. But yeah, like I said, Dimble's not one to panic, especially at half time. Anelka running away with the top scorers. Golden boot race at the moment. Coming close. We get to 60 minutes as continue to come forward, much improved. But we do get there. A couple of attempts from Blitz, nothing from Townsville. Quick look at Townsville first. Mendes de Silva continuing to impress. Pablo Aymar doing a good job in midfield. Taibi up to an 8 as well for Hodgie. Over at Blitz, lots of 8s, lots of good performances tonight for both sides. Nicky Butt up to an 8 now, still on a yellow card, but I don't think he will risk taking him off.
It's those big players that are just not quite clicking after an hour. I mean, it's not like it's going to take them off, but yeah.
So Hodgie is going to do Van Bronckhorst for Kaladze and protect that yellow card, which is sensible. And Dimble is going to Tonton for Neto. 2 AMCs, arrows on AMCs and off the DMCs, as you would expect from Dimble. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just confirm you're happy with that, Dimble. Do you want to swap Kuhl and Tonton, or is that fine as it is? I'll just give you a second to let me know.
I'd be swapping Buttons Elias as well, just because the Elias is left-sided. But then I am fucking OCD about that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my preference as well, but Dimble started as the Elias on the right-hand side of a free, so I'm not sure that's something he's overly concerned about.
I think he's both footed, to be fair.
Right, we will run this through. It's been predominantly Blitz since the break, pushing for that equaliser. I can't back this up with any solid stats, but it feels like Townsville are generally involved in quite low-scoring games.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sort of expect a 3-0 drubbing either way with Hodgie, do you? It tends to be
fizzling out. We've got through to literally the last few minutes here with absolutely nothing happening in the last 20, and Hodgie will be pleased with that. And we do get to full time, and it is a 1-0 win for Townsville, which, depending on other results, could be enough to see them lift the playoffs.
Absolutely no shots at all in the second half.
A game of 2 halves. All the attempts coming from Townsville in the first half, all Blitz in the second half, pushing for that equaliser, but couldn't quite get that there. Nicky Butt picks up man of the match with a 9, lots of tackles in there. Shotis doing a decent job in goal, but the rest is just pretty average in terms of 7s and 6s. Over at Townsville, another 9 for Mendes de Silva. David Yepes, some decent performances in there, and that talisman Morientes getting the all-important goal. Next up, we've got Hobart versus Wanganui. Hobart lineup like this. We've just got Filipescu into centre midfield for Emerson for Kitchen Dan, and across at Wanganui. This is how Mike lines up. Just Lauren Robert coming out for Ziriberto to return. Wanganui on an awful run of form at the bottom of the league at the moment. Hobart still have a chance, I guess, to make the playoffs, and they've gone 1-0 up through Joe Cole. Feels like Joe Cole's been at 4 or 5 different clubs across maybe 3 seasons.
I've had him at least once. Yeah, he's one of those that's...
And we've got a red card for Jenny Cheddar. I've seen Mike about, so we'll see what he wants to do. We've got Tradzer on the bench, but you would think that the obvious one would be just to centralise Addo. I think we spoke about it quite a bit over the last season or so, but red cards generally don't have a massive impact in terms
Not
of
really. It tends to be the other way around, if anything. They tend to improve realistically after a red. I mean, for me, I'd be taking Zidane off here forward to Tradi because he's on a 5 and a yellow. Just protect it a little bit, but
yeah, it is just going to be Addo moving across. I think Mike likes Zidane. He's been quite an influential player, very much as he was for us. Picking up goals and assists and not always ratings. But Elber's doubled the lead for Hobart, and it's looking pretty one-sided as we head towards half-time. And a pleasing 45 minutes for Dan, not so much for Mike, who has been really struggling to get things going lately. He tried lots of different things in terms of tactics and personnel. And it's a penalty, and it is 3-0, and that is pretty much game over, you would like to think, against 10 men. Kutuzov from the penalty spot. 7 attempts, Hobart, 5 on target. Just the solitary off-target attempt for Wanganui. It's littered with 6s. Giuliano's doing okay at the back. Bria on the right-hand side on a 7, but apart from that, Mike's gone as if before he's even seen his team. I think he's feeling a little deflated with it. As is
I think probably the best thing you can say for Mike is he's going to get the new manager bounce soon.
Well, you say that, but me and Mike were chatting a couple of game weeks back when he was a bit down in the dumps about things, and I had a look, and the board still were pleased with his performance.
So really?
Imminent. Impressive from...
I think that's kind of what's helped Hodgie a little bit as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Kutuzov and Joe Cole both picked up an assist and a goal apiece. A goal coming from Elbe. I'm not sure I've seen Dan about. I'll give him 10 seconds. But yeah, really solid. Tomasi continuing to steamroll everybody out of his way as he has done all season. I'll give Dan 10, 15 seconds if we'll just run it straight through to 90 since Mike's...
Yeah, I don't think he'd be doing all here, to be honest, regardless of whether he's here or not at this point. It's...
Yeah, so we will run it through.
Yeah, I'd love to see a massive comeback here for Mike, but I can't. I can't expect it.
Yeah, Hobart looked really good in spells this season. Put in some really decent performances. That front three are doing really well. Jax went off to a flyer, has gone off the boil a little bit, so Dan will be pleased to see people like Colin Kutuzov stepping up, as well as Elber. Hodgie felt victimised by his board and felt his performances didn't deserve the sack. Rob's here. Hope you are well.
I hope he's not.
And we get to full time. The second half sort of fizzled out to nothing. Not a solitary attempt on target from Wanganui.
That is
pretty much as one-sided. As one-sided as we've seen all season, you would think, not helped by the red card. Joko picks man of the match, gets a 10. Yeah, some standout performances in there from Dan, who'll be pleased with. Zidane finishes on a 5, plenty of 6s in there as well. Rob Douglas with an 8. Johnny Cheddar sent off, and one to forget for Mike. Next up, we've got the Bush Rats versus the Vikings, as requested by Jens. A few big players out for Bush Rats. Alan Smith's been playing well, Giggs as well, and Ronnie Johnson. Line up like this. We've got Castillo gets a start on the left-hand side. Did well from the bench last week. And
not a player I know, actually.
Yeah, he's good. Him and Cuevas are two good young wingers. I think I drafted them both with the intention of sort of trying them out. But yeah, Tato is doing that. And some big players missing for Vikings. Nesta, John Terry, Charlie Chaos and Barry Ferguson. But when you look at their lineup and you've still got a team that looks like that, you would have to sort of credit the strength in depth. I don't mind Tudor at centre-back. I think he can do a decent job. Still got a sort of DMC free line and then, you know, these attacking players are match winners. So should be a good game. Bush Rats have picked up some form of late and Vikings as well. So this should be a cracker.
I mean, realistically, this should only go one way in terms of where the table sits. But as you say, Tato's been less shit
And it was
recently.
Zowley from the right-hand side.
He did so well for me. I'm glad to see him playing well.
And doing well from right midfield as well, as opposed to wing back.
Yeah, well, he played left wing for me until I brought George Atos in. And he did really well there. I felt bad sort of dropping him.
Not a great deal's happened since the goal, and we're sort of heading towards half time. Chance for Bush Rats just before the break. But it is Veron on the stroke at half time. That's a nasty time to concede. Veron on 45 minutes has doubled the lead for the Vikings. 5 attempts, 3 on target, 4 and 1 for the Bush Rats. It felt relatively even. I mean, it didn't feel like there was 9 attempts, if I'm completely honest, but a really early goal followed by 1 on the stroke at half time. And not pretty reading for Bush Rats. Lots of 6s in there, a couple of 5s. Castillo really struggling. Valharan at the back on a 5 and a yellow card. Kubu doing okay, but apart from that, not a lot to talk about from Bush Rats. Would expect changes across at the Vikings. He's going to go as is. He says that he doesn't have a great deal of options, but a decent first half performance. No assists for the goals, but Veron and Zari on the score sheet. Cambiasso and Lucio doing well. Gattuso and Roy Keane also. So we will hop to Bush Rats in anticipation of changes for Tato.
Yeah, I'd expect to see Lee Young Pio at the very least.
We are going to see Lee Young Pio come on. We're going to see Owen for Rossini. And that'll do for now, please. Whole squad is dead. Yeah, unfortunate with injuries. But having said that, your opponents have got 4 first-team players out as well. So, just an unfortunate time to play a side with such good depth. So we will go to 60 minutes and see if Bush Rats can turn this around. And they've started like they're meaning to push on a little bit more. But as I say, that Maxim comes close. And we do get to 60 minutes.
Has he been scoring this season?
Maxim?
Yeah.
He's 10 or 11, I think. 11.
Really... Oh, fair enough.
Second to probably only Anelka. 6 shots apiece, a few more on target for the Vikings. Feels like they've been relatively in control, to be honest. Lucio's on a booking
across the board. Yeah.
Shevchenko not really getting involved from AMC. And Jens is going to put Olsen on for Shevchenko at AMC. Give him a run and go across to Tato. Having up to a 6. The guys from the bench not really making an impact. Tato's got a bit of lag, but he's good just to the end. So we will run this one through. Vikings 2-0 up. So we head into the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can't see again, similar to the Wanganui game, I can't see a comeback coming here.
Yeah, and it's just sort of petering out one-sided. First half and nothing happening in the second half, and we've got through to 85 minutes with literally nothing happening.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're Jens, but definitely not if you're Tato. 1 shot on target. Oof.
The guys are saying that there's a bit of lag in the stream, but everything looks okay at my end, so I'm not sure why that would be. But yeah, all Vikings in the last sort of 30 minutes, nothing back from Bush Rats. Veron picks up one of the match with an 8, but 7s and 8s really solid home performance. Less to be said for the Bush Rats, some experimental players not stepping up and taking their opportunity. Yakubu did well, but apart from that, we'll just be hoping for some players back. Next up, we're going to do Wagga Wagga against Rob. We line up like this, back to our 2-1-4-1-2. Changing personnel. Herty comes in alongside Donny midfield. Raul comes in for Crespo, who's been honking. Ashley Live is in for Rustico, who is suspended. And Rob lines up like this. Brozek's coming up front and Smertin into DMC. So good luck, Mr. Marshall.
I can see what they mean. There is quite
Warriors.
a lot of lag on the stream.
There is.
Yeah. Well, I keep getting the sort of circle. Yeah, there you go. Lagging again.
Not sure
I
why.
couldn't tell you what it is.
Has opened the scoring for the Warriors, 1-0.
That is one of the transfers I very much regret. Pretty much giving away Harrison Mowich there.
A very good version of him. But to be fair, I would have played him regardless. I've played him all season in Super League on most of the season. And to be honest, regardless of his sort of background potential and his in-game attributes, he performs the same regardless.
Yeah, he's one of them consistent players, isn't it? It's why I drafted him. I just wanted him sort of in and around the squad.
Yeah, we get to half time, pretty dull first half, just a couple of attempts for Warriors, nothing from Rapa Nui. We'll start with Rob. Candela doing okay. He's been really good this season. 6 and 7s for everybody else. Some of these midfield and attacking players really struggling to get involved. Smertin just 3 touches of the ball. Same for Brozek, 5 for D'Alessandro. See if Rob wants to change anything up. Raul picks up the assist into the side. He's on an 8. We will think we will just leave it as it is. Rob's going to leave it as well, so we'll go to 60 minutes. Really dull game, barely any chances.
Yeah, I'm really glad I picked this week to be on, because every single game,
they've either been pretty dull or one-sided. Just a 3 attempts for Warriors, still nothing from Rapa Nui. But we've seen games change on the head in the last 30 minutes. We'll see what Rob wants to try and do. Just Candela and Khan excelling for Rapa Nui. Apart from that, not a good deal else. We've got Donish struggling a little bit. Kamunu's been not the most consistent this season. We will. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave it, and so is Rob. So we will just run it through. And it is Brozek who levels on 66 minutes. So many times you see games completely flip on their head from 60 minutes onwards. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rapa Nui go on and win this.
Second now, yeah. They look the more likely all of a sudden.
Yeah, and there you go. There's Inzaghi. It happens so often. They've changed nothing. And just that break, and then bang bang.
Yeah, it's one of those where you looked at it and you thought, should I change something? Should I not?
And it's 3-1. They looked like it didn't look like they could put any pass
no point. No point did that look like they were going to do anything at all. There.
And
4 as well.
Rob, fuck off! Like, what is that? How has that even happened?
That's brutal.
What?
Bartes, you've got a goal, isn't it?
No. Bartes has gone to Tato. Anyway, a brace from Brozek, a brace from Inzaghi, Duff, Smertin, Guerrero, and Mark Kerr pick up the assists. They had 5, 6s, and 7s at half time. And now we've got 8s, 9s, and 10s. Mondragon's picked up a 4. You just can't. You can't accommodate for that. You can't. There's no reason behind it. Well done, Rob.
He's just decided at 60 minutes, fuck it. I'm having the day off.
Yeah, madness. Absolute fucking madness. Right. Dragons line up like this. They're playing the leaders Vanuatu. Riquelme's in for Vieira with a cheeky little arrow.
It's mad that Vieira can be out and you still look like Galacticos.
He sent me a submission. I just need to do that now. So we've got Clumpy for Cordoba, Asani for Mild, Semak for Scholes, Zanoni for Van Bommel.
That's pretty much what I said.
That is how Steve lines up. As strong as ever. Been really good this season. Doesn't matter sort of who he plays across that 5. They're doing a decent job. Rui Costa's been good. Montella's been scoring. and Ndai's been probably the best player in the league, to be honest. So could be an interesting game. This Dragons in good form themselves.
Yeah, this should be game of the night realistically, which means Yawn Fest incoming. These are certainly the two best teams in the league currently.
And it is Montella. Phil's not scored for a couple of games, but back on the horse tonight. But Vieri, who started his time with Dragons very impressively, has levelled up.
Big even game.
Unre-involved. Heading towards half time. Feels like it's been pretty end-to-end, pretty even. Not a huge amount of chances. But yeah, 3 attempts.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like.
Target apiece. Assists coming from Zanoni into the side, which will please Steve Montella back on the goal scoring charts again. Bolodenkov continuing his good form out on the left. Over at Dragons, we've got Buffon, Jeremy's and Cafu up on 8, as well as Vieri. Assists coming from Cafu from that right-hand side. Duggan's going to go as is, so we'll just hop back across to Vanuatu.
I wouldn't expect anything drastic here either, to be fair. Just going to grab another pint.
No bother.
Again, in Macca's honour.
He's going to roll it through as well. So we'll go to 16. Shaggers has scored again.
Oof.
On 47 minutes. Really at the ground running at Dragons. And Figo.
Oh, this is loud.
But it's been ruled out. Figo's been really good as well from that right-hand side for Vanuatu. And we get to half time.
Rui Costa, you said had been doing really well. Kiss of death on him.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. 5 attempts apiece, 3 on target, Vanuatu, 4 for the Dragons. Second assist coming from Raquelme into the side for Vieira tonight, which will please Duggan. Vieira on absolute fire. 2 shots, 2 goals. And yeah, a very quick as is from Duggan. Over at Vanuatu, Rui Costa, as mentioned, who's been good. I think Steve bigged him up a bit on Monday when he did the stream. Not having the best of games. Headman on a 6, as is Rio Ferdinand. What's the
I'd
option?
expect to see Del Vecchio here, maybe drag Nicky Ferenco back.
Yeah, maybe move him up and play 2 behind. But
yeah, potentially. Yeah, well, he's got to go for another goal, isn't he? So.
But like Steve said on Monday when he sort of wrapped the stream up, you know, he knows he had a big game tonight, but he's got that 6-point cushion, so there's not a huge amount of pressure on him, and he's very sort of laid back about it.
Yeah, rightly so. Yeah.
But you'd still expect him to try and get back into it naturally.
Oh, yeah, he'll do something. And I think Del Vecchio would be the option. I wouldn't expect to see Gallardo here. He's fucking typing out a long old essay here by the look of it.
Montella's up to 11 goals as well now this season.
Considering how shit he was for the Bush Rats, that's impressive. I think Penza's on 10 as well. So we've got quite a few strikers doing well this season. Normally,
yeah, there is indeed.
You normally get a couple.
Impressive one so far. Obviously, Nelka, who was brilliant last season as well, but Morientes getting 11, 12 goals in a 2 is pretty unheard of.
Yeah.
Right, 60 minutes.
He loves Morientes though, doesn't he? He's his boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 25 minutes to play then. Vanuatu hoping to get back into it. Duggan will be up, and the Dragons can see this one through and continue their rise up the table. I think they're actually second behind Vanuatu currently, so close the gap to 3 points.
With Vikings losing, I think, if I remember rightly.
Vikings beat points.
Oh, did they? Yeah, fine. Yeah, they were third, so he'll need to keep the pressure on by winning here.
Oh, late chance. Maybe. No. Really impressive away win for Dragons. Really close game. 8 shots apiece, 4 on target Vanuatu, 6 for the Dragons. We'll start with Steve. Klompy did well. Rui Costa dragged off on a 5. Montella back on the goal scoring charts. But really strong performance from Dragons. Vieri obviously picks up man of the match. But a lot of incredible strong performances in there. Stan putting in a lot of tackles, both wing back contributing. Jeremy's, as ever, doing well. And Raquelme in for Vieira. Really good performance. So well done to Duggan and lucky to Steve. I think that will take us to the last game, which is going to be Rox's AFC with Schmuck in for Boya against Time Wasters, who I think are top of the form table at the minute. Changed the wing backs. They're still waiting for the Serginho Taribo West swap to go through. But Bowmay continues. And it's an as is from last time out.
You're worried about Viduka on the bench with that orange injury. Yeah. If you have to use him, he's probably coming straight off again.
You would like to think, though, that Saviola and Van Nistelrooy have been an incredible partnership. So,
yeah, especially last season.
20 minutes in, still 0 apiece. Javan with a chance for AFC. But it is Saviola, as previously mentioned, opens the scoring for Tutivua, who are really on the charge and hunting down the playoffs.
I can't remember any other team really getting anything out of Saviola. A lot of people have tried. I certainly tried. Yeah, he needs to be in a 2.
I brought him into LSK in the mid-season transfer window, or maybe even at the start of the season. And after a game or 2, he got injured for 4 months, and I've not used him all season. So that was really good. We get to half time. AFC 0, Tutivua 1. Just a 1 attempt off target for AFC, 4 attempts, 2 on target for Tutivua.
Certainly going to the form book, isn't it?
Andre continuing his really good season in goal. Michelini on a 9 as well, but apart from that, nothing for AFC. I've not seen Rock, so we'll just go across to see if Liam O'Meady's about. Saviola on an 8, assist coming from Ole de Court, who's had a really good season. DMC into both centre-backs into the book could be something to consider. Steve says
maybe Desai coming on here for any one of those 3, realistically.
Steve Villa was good when he won the Super League in a front three with Luca Toni and Ron Mackay.
Lubiduka.
You wouldn't expect to see Viduka today, but potentially Desai. It is going to be Desai comes on for Vrede.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Centre back. And we will go through to 60 minutes. Javan with another chance, but it goes wide. And we get to 60. I think just that one off-target attempt since half-time from Mason Javan. No real change in the ratings or anything from AFC. Dies up to a 9. Apart from that, it looks very much as is over at Tutivua. Nothing really of much concern. They might be cautious based on the fact that we went in at 60 minutes 1-0 up and finished 4-1 without looking into any kind of danger. But apart from a Rob Sloth sort of esque style comeback from Rocks, Tutivua have been pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I think maybe a Dilson for Ljungberg, just so that they've done something, and maybe don't capitulate like you said you did. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and that's
Spoke
exactly
that one
what.
into existence, maybe. Yeah, that's probably all I would have done as well.
So we will play this one on to 90 minutes.
They certainly feel like they've been in control, don't they?
And it is Saeed who's doubled the lead and pretty much put the game to bed, you would think.
Yeah, there should be a sigh of relief. For,
AFC front three have looked pretty toothless, to be honest. And you would expect Tutua to continue their good run at the top of the form table.
Yeah, I mean, that AFC front three gets in not a single other team for a reason, I think.
Yeah, I think Paragon's a good player. I would definitely have him and use him as a squad player, but
exactly, squad player.
Yeah, but yeah, not a shot on target, nothing at all since sort of 60 minutes from AFC. Pretty comfortable for the away side. 8 attempts, 5 on target. Man of the match is the away side. It must be Andre again. Saviola on a 9, Contra on a 9. Saeed picks up an 8, assist from Oli Decor and Contra on the right-hand side, and a really good, solid 2-0 away performance. And it is Kieran Dyer who picks up a 9 for, I'm not really sure what, to be honest. There's no, it must be dribbles or something. No dribbles or runs or anything. So not really sure why. Andre picks up a 9, but apart from that, pretty poor from AFC.
Yeah, shockingly for a Scotsman, it's toothless. But yeah, no, you'd be worried if you're Rocks at this point.
Yeah, and that has concluded the fixtures. So we've got AFC 0, 2-1, Hobart 3, Wanganui 0, Rapa Nui 4, Warriors 1, Townsville 1, Blitz 0, Unicorns 2, Aborigines 1, Vanuatu 1, Dragons 2 at the top of the table, and Vikings with a comfortable 2-0 win over the Bushrats, leaving the table looking like this.
Very, very close at the top now. Yeah,
it's feeling a little bit more. Well, the gap's definitely closed up. The chasing pack, you would say, goes right back down to probably Rapa Nui with 7 games to go. It's 7 points. But Vanuatu still top, 3 points ahead of Dragons, who are in fine form. Vikings 2 points back from them. Unicorns yourself on 31. And then Townsville and Warriors on 29. Townsville leapfrog Blitz into the playoffs, who are just outside on 28. And then we've got Hobart and Tutavua, followed by Aborigines, Rapa Nui, and then we've got AFC, Bushrats, and Wanganui, who you would say are most definitely out of the race for the playoffs.
Bottom 3, probably bottom 4 with a form that Rob's in, apart from tonight.
Next week's fixtures, Sunday's fixtures: Aborigines, Townsville, Blitz, Vikings, Bushrats, Hobart, Dragons, AFC, Tutavua, Rapa Nui, Warriors, Unicorns, and Wanganui versus Vanuatu. Some standouts in there. We've got top versus bottom. We've also got a big game, second versus AFC, who are really poor as well at the moment. Blitz versus Vikings is a big game. Warriors, Unicorns, a playoff battle. But yeah, that is how we are looking. So I will hopefully get packs out, safe, sorted shortly this evening. And yeah, we'll go again on Sunday. Thanks very much. Any final words from you, Smuts?
Absolutely none, mate. No, I enjoyed that. It's
good stuff.
Everybody watch Late Limbs whenever we're on. That's shockingly shameless.
Keep everybody when that is. And Rob, you can suck my ball sack, and I will speak to you later. Cheers, boys.
Say it.